Eli Bremer grew up riding horses and swimming as a young man. He attended college at the United States Air Force Academy, where he competed in NCAA Division I swimming and fencing. After his graduation, Eli was assigned to the Air Force's World-Class Athlete Program, where he trained full-time on pentathlon. Eli is a 2008 U.S. Olympian, a 9-time World Team member, and a 3-time Pan American champion and Pan American Games gold medalist. Also, Eli turned in the U.S. highest performance in 29 years with a bronze medal finish at the 2008 World Cup Finals. Eli's training regimen is one of the toughest in the world and often includes 60 miles of running and 25 miles of swimming weekly. To perform at his very best every day, Eli relies on the entire Shaklee product line, including daily use of Shaklee Performance, Physique, Vitalizer, and Cinch Bars to provide optimal nutrition and optimal hydration. Please help me welcome Eli Bremer to the stage.
Well, good morning, Shaklee. I can't begin to tell you what an honor it is to be out here today, but I do have to tell you that despite all those accomplishments, I still have to answer to the boss. And that's my wife, Cammie Bremer, who's at home. And she wrote me an email last night and said I've been a very bad person. On my website, it says that if you write me a letter and ask for Shaklee trading cards, these are my Shaklee trading cards, I will send you signed copies of these cards. And apparently I owe Lori Welsh and Richard and Nancy Brown from Florida some trading cards. So I apologize. If you're here afterwards, come on up. I'll be around for a couple hours. I brought a few thousand of these, so hopefully everybody who's here will be able to get my Shaklee trading cards. So even being an Olympian doesn't escape having an answer to the boss. This is my very first Shaklee Global Conference, and for all those of you who are out here, who this is your first conference, welcome. Probably be glad that you don't have to stand up on a 60-foot stage in front of 5,000 people. It's a little intimidating up here. I'd like to share with you a little bit of my Shaklee story. And to start with that, I wanted to tell you about something that happened to me a few months ago. I was at my house with my wife and a few friends on a Saturday night, and we were watching a movie. And at 9:30, the doorbell rang, and I turned to my wife and I said, Cammie, are we expecting anybody else to show up tonight? And she said no. So I went to the door, and there standing there were two men who pulled out their identification cards that showed me that they were drug testing officers of the U.S. Anti-Doping Agency. Now, the U.S. Anti-Doping Agency is the drug testing agency that tests all Olympic and Olympic hopeful athletes in the United States. They run a program called No Advance Notice Drug Testing. And what that enables them to do is to come and find an athlete who's in the drug testing pool, which is all competitive athletes in the United States, 24/7, 365, and demand that you provide them a urine sample. So that's kind of a unique thing we have to go through as athletes. They don't put that up on the NBC News coverage of, the highlights of the Olympics. But it's a reality that we deal with as athletes. And my friends were pretty shocked too. They said, Eli, what kind of racket are you running here that you got drug testing officers showing up at your house? But it's a very serious business for those of us who rely on our bodies as professional athletes, that we can show that we are pure performers. And I take that very seriously. And when the drug testing folks show up at your house, there's two ways that you're going to have a positive test. One is that you've knowingly taken illicit substances. And quite frankly, if you've done that, you know it and you're going to get caught. But the other way has driven mass paranoia in the athlete community over the last decade. And that's to have unknowingly taken or ingested substances that you as a professional athlete are not allowed to have. And this is not a mind. So how is it that at 9:30 on a Saturday night, when the drug testing officers show up, I can have confidence? And again, this is a serious problem. Just 3 years ago, at the 2008 Olympic trials for swimming, a young swimmer by the name of Jessica Hardy qualified to represent the United States in Beijing. Unfortunately, shortly after trials, her drug test came back. She took 3 drug tests in just under a week. 2 were clean. One showed that she had a substance in her system called clenbuterol. Jessica had never even heard of clenbuterol, but there was no doubt it was in her system. And in Olympic sport drug testing, we have a policy called strict liability, which means that if a substance is in your system, you're responsible for it no matter what. Jessica was expected to win several medals at the Olympic Games, and instead she had to withdraw and was not allowed to compete to represent her country. She submitted all of her supplements to an independent drug testing lab, where they discovered traces of a drug called clenbuterol. Now, she could get her reputation back from that, but she never got back her opportunity to compete at the Olympic Games. The company that she had trusted herself with was not some fly-by-night Mexican pharmacy company. It wasn't an out-of-the-country import. It was a major brand that many, many people in this room would have heard of. And that goes to show how serious of a problem this is in the United States today. Just 7 weeks ago, a judge awarded a professional football player $5.4 million because that football player had tested positive for drug use, and it was later proved to be part of a supplement that he was taking. So this is a difficult problem. And to combat it, you know what's been done by the major sports organizations? They said, don't use any supplements. Well, I can't do that. I have a difficult training regimen. When you're running 65, 70 miles a week, swimming 20 miles a week, you need to be using supplements. And that's why my story goes back 15 years ago to when I was a high school athlete. And I met Phil and Carla Croker, who are here today. Carla's actually right up front here. And Carla introduced me to a company called Shaklee. My mom has a doctorate in human nutrition, and I said, Mom, will you go check out this company and let me know if it's as good as the Crokers say it is? And she came back and she said, Eli, they're every bit as good as what they've said. And that's when I started using the Shaklee product line. Well, I've been using Shaklee products now for well over 15 years. And before the 2008 Olympic Games, we really formalized my relationship with Shaklee, and I've been representing Shaklee for a number of years now. But I've got some exciting news for you guys today. Over the past couple of months, I've been working with Shaklee, and we are going to expand Shaklee's presence and availability to the very elite athletes who are subject to the same drug testing rules that I am. The story of this conference is to share your story. And I've been sharing the story of Shaklee and the purity of their products, because Shaklee is, in my opinion, the highest quality and the most pure product on the market. I've been sharing that with other Olympic athletes, and we're going to start a pilot program, and hopefully within the next couple months, you're going to be seeing as many as potentially 20 athletes of my caliber, Olympic caliber athletes, who are coming forward and trusting their bodies to Shaklee as well. But I would also venture a guess that if I took a poll here in this room, there's not a single one of you that worries about a 9:30 knock on your door saying you have to pee in a cup. Am I right? Is there anyone here who's going to do that? No? Okay. So why does that matter to the 5,000 of you who have come out here? I'll tell you why. It's because in the same way as an athlete, I have had to put my reputation on the line with Shaklee. Every single one of you here puts your reputation on the line every single day when you go to your friends, your family, your coworkers, people you don't know, and tell them that this product line is the greatest product line in the world. When you tell someone that they can take Vitalizer, when you tell someone that an athlete that they should be using Performance or Physique, you can do it with the confidence of knowing that what's on the label is actually what's in the product, nothing more, nothing less. And you can put your reputation on the line with this company in the same way I have. So with that, I want to say how proud I am to be part of the Shaklee family and the Shaklee organization. I expect to have a long-term relationship with this organization in the same way that many of you have. I've seen some of you with 35-year-plus things on your name tags, and that's so exciting to me because this really is a family. So I want to say thank you for letting me be a part of your family and letting me introduce the Shaklee family to a whole bunch more Olympic caliber athletes as we move forward. So. And lastly, I'm going to be around for the next few hours out in the exhibit hall. I've got thousands of my Shaklee trading cards. If we happen to run out, just let me know, send them through the website, and believe me, I won't make sure you get them. My wife will. So, thank you for your time, and thank you for being part of my Shaklee family.
Hi, I'm Eli Bremer, elite pentathlete and team captain of the Shaklee Pure Performance team. I've been using Shaklee products since high school, and they help me perform my best. That's why I partnered with Shaklee on the Shaklee Pure Performance team. This roster of elite athletes is committed to being the best in the world in their sport and using Shaklee products to get there.
The more fit you are, the more confident you are, the more in shape you are, the less stress your body reacts to, and that is so important.
Just making sure you're getting the vitamins and minerals your body needs will help you not only in your performance now, but also later in life.
It gives you the nutrition you need so you can perform to your maximum capability.
I didn't care about it much until I became an athlete, and I realized what I put in my body really comes out when I'm training.
You spend so much time in the gym and so much time training and so much time getting everything out of yourself that you can, when nutrition is something that's frequently overlooked.
The margin for victory is so small that if you're not doing everything you can, including taking supplements, then you're not giving everything you have to try and win.
As the team grows and we continue the countdown to the Games in London this summer, we'll share more stories of pure performance on our website. Together, we can let the world know that pure performance is possible with Shaklee.